Hey, thanks for joining Broadfield for another Broadfield Liquid Lunch and Learn. Because of the nor'easter here on the East Coast, we are coming at you live on Friday instead of Thursday with a special guest right out of Colorado, Scott Sheehan from LiveU. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
Doing awesome, man. Did you bring some liquid lunch onto the show?
I certainly did. I brought a Breckenridge Brewery lager from Breckenridge, Colorado, and got a nice little old car on it. You probably can't see that on the can. I can show you.
Sure we can. That looks really good. Nice. Nice. I actually went not local, and I have a West Coast brew for the show today. This one's out of California, out of Devil's Canyon. It is a German-style ale. You can see how light and very bubbly it is. More bubbly than I usually like. But cheers, Scott.
Mine's real light, too, but you can't see it.
I used to go straight from the can, and I started doing the glass so that I could show off the different beers to our dealers and the way they pour.
That's why you're in marketing, man. You got this shit down.
Got to figure it out, right, Scott? We're going to take another minute, give our dealers a chance to join us, especially because this is not our regular date and time. As we're getting ready for the show, I want to ask you something I've been asking all of our guests that come on the show, and that is, how was 2020 for you, and how excited are you for next year?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's kind of one of those weird things. We were one of the lucky ones, right?
Yep.
I mean, obviously with COVID and everything really going, offline, so to speak, the need for live remote video just was really good.
Yes.
We had a great year with you guys, obviously with the solo we're going to talk about today, but really our entire product line covering all the different market categories, all the different industry, news, broadcast, sports a little bit less, unfortunately, but corporate, house of worship, education, really everybody needing to find new ways, in a weird sort of a way. I think it forced people to kind of take a look at something that's been around for really 10 years, but really for the last 3 or 4 years in a big way.
Yep.
It forced people to look at different ways to do things. So I think 2021, jumping into what's it look like, I think we're encouraged about 2021 being a hybrid of what we've been, which is, I think people are still going to look, we're humans, so we're going to want to get back together a little bit and
Absolutely.
not drink beers virtually over Skype, but I think you're going to see a lot of live remote going forward.
I agree completely, and I can tell you one of the reasons I invited you on the show to talk about the LiveU solo is because we are seeing increased interest from our dealers. We're seeing new dealers sign up for the program, and we're seeing more people offer the LiveU solo encoder. And one of the things that we've done together starting last month is put together a Black Friday promotion, allowing them to get the LiveU solo at special pricing, but more importantly, trying to educate and show them how to sell the Solo Connect starter kits and the data plans that are necessary. So Scott, without further ado, let's go into some of the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about today, and that, of course, is the LiveU solo. Before we get into the product itself, for our dealers who don't know you, how about you give us a little brief introduction?
Yeah, so that was me a couple of years ago, and now, of course, with No Shave November to raise awareness for cancer, I've decided that I'm going to keep this little beard and start working on my Santa Claus look for when I have grandchildren someday. But I've been with Grass Valley, and you guys,
Yep.
we all work together for about 4 or 5 years together at Grass Valley. I've been with Avid. I've been in the industry. Before that, I was with in the IT industry, and just been in technology, high tech for a long time. Been with LiveU now for almost 2 years, and my job is the national partner account manager. We're working with all of our resellers, and then the extended dealer network that you guys bring to the table, and really working the day-to-day stuff, as the go-to guy for sales.
Hey, absolutely, and we do have a lot of history going back when you were at Grass Valley. Scott's been actually part of our Broadfield Fantasy Football League, has even won the league in the past, although you wouldn't tell by his performance this year. Didn't even make the playoffs, Scott. I'm sorry to hear that.
So Broadfield's made the playoffs, I think, for the first time in 5 or 7 years, and now this is what I get, right? So,
Hey,
yeah.
hey, you know what? If I can't take my opportunity to rub it in a little bit this year, it could be another 7 years before I have the chance again.
Well, yeah, and so after 7 years of not making the playoffs, Jim decided to expand the league to 12 teams, so we could change the rules a little bit and screw up. Look at poor Howard. He's going to end up in last place for God's sakes. He's been like the 3-time champion. You guys are
I know.
you're taking all your good players into a. We'll figure it out next year. We'll come back and get you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Enough about fantasy football. Let's talk about the LiveU Solo
There's
Holiday
never enough
Special.
about fantasy football.
Scott, what exactly is the special we put together? Come on, introduce it for us.
Yeah. So we basically just, really calling attention, throwing a little $50 off on the Solo. Get the modem kit with it, another $25.
Yep.
Take $75 off. Kind of a little bit of a thank you to our customers or whatever, but also just to bring attention to, getting something going through the year end. We've had a good year, and we want to throw some of it back in the industry to the market.
Absolutely, and I want to let our dealers know that we structured this promotion like this for a reason. The LiveU Solo is an excellent encoder in and of itself. You can connect it hardwired to a network. You can use a Wi-Fi network. So offering your customers who need a good quality encoder, the LiveU Solo HDMI or the SDI and HDMI model at $50 off is a great deal. LiveU also has their Solo Connect starter kits with the modems available, and with that, we've sweetened the pot with an additional $25. So it's a total of $75 off of those bundles. So again, it's $50 off the LiveU Solo HDMI, which brings that to $945, or the LiveU Solo, which is the model with SDI and HDMI connections at $1445. We sweeten the deal to offer a $75 off special on any of the Modem Connect kits. So this is the LiveU Solo HDMI with the 2 modem kit or 3 modem kit, gets you the $75 off. And then you have the Solo SDI with either a 2 modem or a 3 modem kit, gets you the savings off of that. And Scott, what do you think is one of the more popular bundles, or what do you think is one of the top sellers that our dealers are going to see out of these 4 different choices here?
It's really interesting. I've been looking at the numbers since things have taken off, and there's a few more of the 2 Connect Solo modem kits. For where people are pretty confident in a Verizon and an AT&T reception. The 3 modem kits are not far behind, to be perfectly honest with you.
Surprisingly so, actually. Yeah. Those 3.
So I think you'll continue to see a mix. And then the HDMI outsells the Solo with the SDI. Not everybody needs the SDI, and if you don't need to spend $500, you're not going to. So I say that it will continue to be a pretty good mix across the board. I mean, the other thing that is always there is that after they get the kit along with the Solo, and they go into the Solo portal and sign up for a data plan, then with the reseller promo code, the customer puts in a reseller promo code, they get another 5% off their data plan.
Absolutely.
So there's money on the table for everybody to kind of save a few bucks, and again I think you'll just continue to see a really good mix of any of these solutions.
I agree completely, and one of the things that I want to remind our dealers too is, with all the popularity over the LiveU Solo, especially over the last 6 months, there's also been a rush to grab whatever modems are available in the marketplace in order to continue to sell these Solo Connect bundles. And in doing so, the product has actually improved for a lot of our users, because now we're offering it with AT&T and Verizon modems, as opposed to the AT&T and T-Mobile.
Yeah, I agree. It was we ongoing discussions and developments with all the carriers, and this goes beyond just what we're doing with the Solo, right? I mean, we're introducing 5G down the road and all that stuff. So we're constantly working with the carriers, and we're really pleased with some of the changes that we were made to the modems that allow us to put the AT&T and Verizon, which are the 2 most popular. And T-Mobile's good as well.
Yep.
And really, if somebody wants to go get their own T-Mobile modem, or like a MiFi puck with a T-Mobile in it, if they want to add that,
Sure.
they could certainly do that as well. So
Eh,
it's
Absolutely, and you bring up a good point. These modems are also still available a la carte. We're not saying that every LiveU Solo requires a Solo Connect starter kit in order to take advantage of the cellular bonding and the LRT cloud. But the fact that LiveU offers these Solo Connect bundles means that you can offer your customer a one-stop shop, giving them the LiveU Solo unit they need, the modems to get started, and Scott, like you mentioned, the Solo Connect data plans that not only include the unlimited data, but also the LRT cloud subscription, where each of our dealers will have their unique coupon code to offer 5% off of those plans, but more importantly, also allow them to track their sales so they earn recurring commissions on those data plans, which I think is a great thing that LiveU offers the channel.
Well, yeah, and the thing of it is for a talking point for the channel partners, the thing that we'll often hear is, hey, I can get a $79 a month data plan, from Verizon or AT&T or T-Mobile. It's typically a 15 gigabyte choked data plan. So when you really break this down, if you look at even the $29.50 a year, which is like 2 months free, because if they pay by the month, it's $295 a month. So it's if you do the math, it's 2 months for nothing, and then the 5% on top of that. But that does include, as you said, Jim, it includes the $450 LRT, which is running the Solo portal and doing the bonding and running through the cloud server. When you bring that back down, you're spending about $2,400 for your data plan on a year. Divide again, $200 a month. Divide again by 2 modems, $100 a month for an unlimited data plan.
Right.
So when you break it down that way for the end user, it's like, oh shit, excuse my French, that $79 for 15 gig or $100 for a modem for an unlimited data plan. We've seen, as that message has gotten out there, as you've seen, Jim, the attach rate to the modem kit and the data plan one-stop shop has gone from and nothing, because we didn't have it, all the way up to a very high attach rate of people just getting the whole thing.
Absolutely, and we've done other shows where we've talked about the technology, we've talked about the Solo Connect services. Really, again, the reason I invited you on the show is to remind our dealers that we have the holiday special going on right now. And I think the holiday special with the $75 off for a bundle is a great deal. If you look at the way some of these bundle prices come in, the Swiss Army knife would be the LiveU Solo that has the SDI and HDMI connection, plus the 2 modem kit at $1,870 for that holiday special now through December 31st. That's a great number,
exactly.
Isn't it, Scott?
Yeah, it's exactly. And that SDI connection is more than a camera, right? It's maybe the output of a switcher or the output of something in the field. Hooking up a bundle with a Sling Studio that we've often talked about. So the SDI just gives you more than a camera. It gives you the connection for a lot of different things. And those 1370, 15, 18, it just got me to thinking, Jim. And 1870 in particular. A little step back in history here, but this is a photo here of the infamous New York Mutuals baseball team. Really was the sort of predecessor to the New York Giants baseball team, et cetera, on and on. But the New York Mutuals back in 1870, September 15th, beat the Philadelphia Athletics 12-11 to reclaim the flag, as they called it back then. Joey Start on the far left there. Joe Start, look him up. Joe Start was actually declared the player of the decade from 1870 to 1880 as a hitter. One of the 2 players in a decade. So, and being the Mutuals, of course, they got nicknamed the Mutes, which obviously became the predecessor to the Mets. Just one vowel off there. So just a little step back in history for the New York Mutuals, and a salute out to our original. I don't know. I guess they're not really the original Mets, because they went on to become the the Giants, and now they're San Francisco, and
Right.
who cares? But anyway,
eh,
New York Mutual.
With that kind of trivial knowledge, it made sense that you would be at LiveU, which does a lot of stuff within sports production. And I bet you there's probably even a few of our dealers who are familiar with the New York Mutuals, and maybe they'll use this story to sell that 1870 bundle also.
Well, I think the Mutuals may have possibly been the first LiveU customer. They were streaming their ball games in 1870. Out to Cincinnati, which got the Red Stockings going, and it just baseball just between the Mutuals and LiveU, that's why we're where we are today.
I'm sure it is, and that's why we built the LiveU seller, right?
And if I drink more, the story gets a little bit better.
I'm sure it does, Scott. Anyone who's been out at NAB at the Broadfield parties with Scott joining us out there, you'll know those stories definitely do get better. I'm looking forward to NAB this October, right, Scott?
This October.
This October, we're going to make that happen. Anyway, back to the start of the show. LiveU Solo. So again, as an encoder, we've got a wireless, a wired network connection. We have the ability to add not one, but 2 USB cellular modems for cellular bonding. We also have that third modem in the 3 modem kit, which becomes the hotspot to use for that Wi-Fi modem, right, for the Wi-Fi network. So now you can take all of that together, support it all within your LiveU portal, activate the modems right there, remind your customers to take 2 or 3 days to get those all activated and up and running before they're mission critical and need to go out and stream. But once they're activated, they're ready to go. Those modems feed their signal directly to the LRT cloud. Everything is decoded, sent out to their streaming platform of choice. Did I miss anything, Scott?
No, if you ever did want to, you can actually with that Netgear AT&T too, by the way.
Yep.
You can actually make a Cat5 connection. So remember, the LiveU Solo does have that Cat5 connector on it.
Yep.
So you could actually even wire over to that, if you were for whatever reason, or pick up another one, and you could actually have 4 modems on the Solo. You could wire one, you could a Wi-Fi one, and you got USB too. So there's a lot of connectivity, and while we it got known for bonded cellular,
Yep.
it's really bonded IP, right?
Sure.
So it's really transport high quality video over IP.
Exactly. And one of the ways we recommend selling these bundles is in a 1, 2, 3 approach. Step 1, sell the encoder. Whether it's the LiveU Solo HDMI at $9.95 or the SDI at $14.95, you're offering $50 off of those encoders. So now you're at $9.45 or $14.45. Step 2, add the modem kit, either the 2 modem kit or the 3 modem kit. We did talk about how it is now AT&T and Verizon. Just didn't update the slide here. I apologize for that.
I was going to say, step 4 is Jim's going to fix his slide.
Yep, exactly. And then step 3, we're adding the data plan. So Scott, if they go with the 2 modem kit, their customers are going to subscribe to the data plan for $2.95 a month or $29.50 for the year.
Correct.
Their unique dealer code that we talked about already is going to allow their customers to save 5% off of those. But again, they're buying that data directly from you, directly from LiveU.
Yep, they just log in, put in their credit card, and they're good to go.
Excellent, excellent. And that is a great incentive and a great way for you to maintain your relationship with your customers. You're the good guy giving them your unique dealer code. It's reinforcing that you're giving them the best price on their data. It's also reinforcing that you're there to offer support and service as they grow maybe beyond the LiveU Solo into some of the other LiveU broadcast stations, broadcast systems. So it allows you to do all of that. If you prepay or if your customer prepays for those data packages for the year, they're going to get 2 months free. We already talked about leaving a couple of days to activate everything. Don't purchase, and remind your customers not to purchase the LiveU Solo on Friday, so they're up and running for their church service on Sunday morning. That is a recipe for disaster. If they need to get that system up and running for their Sunday services, my recommendation would be to get that unit shipped out to them in their hands at least a Tuesday before. It gives them a chance to get everything activated, to do a test stream, to become familiar with the unit, and then know by the end of business on Friday that they're ready to go for the weekend. Sound like a good approach, Scott?
Yeah, it does. We recently improved that a little bit, kind of cut one day out of that. But
Okay.
to your point, Jim, why risk it? I mean, sometimes something comes up and you're trying to move quickly, but we have recently improved that where the carriers have put a little bit more of that activation back in our hands. So it's not a two-step process going from us to them and so on. So that was a part of the change to the modems and bringing Verizon on and whatever. So
Yep.
But yeah, you're right. Don't leave it to chance at the last end. You might also have a question. You want to reach out to support. You want to make sure everything's running right and you're streaming and getting to your CDN into your
Absolutely. And again, we do have to remember that we're activating these modems with cellular data services from AT&T and Verizon. AT&T and Verizon are part of the mix, which means if your customer is asking about whether or not they can subscribe monthly and maybe turn it on 1 month and off another month, the answer is sort of, kind of, maybe, but not recommended. It would be like taking the iPhone in your pocket and only turning it on or activating it when you need to make a phone call. There are SIM cards involved. There are things that need to be done with the cellular service providers in order to do that. If they have a modem and a package that isn't activated for some time and they want to reactivate it, Scott, does LiveU have capabilities of getting out new SIM cards and reactivating these modems and getting things that have been turned off?
Absolutely. Yes, we do. And, you can, if, somebody they're paying by the month, they forget, or they just choose for whatever reason to, not renew, the monthly subscription. As Jim said, it might be a day, it might be 5, it might be 10. It's really indeterminate a little bit, but it will catch up to them as far as SIMs getting being deactivated by the carriers, just like with your phone. But you're not dead. So
right.
You give us a call, we get a hold of you, we'll send you, a new set of SIMs. There could be a fee obviously involved with something like that, obviously shipping, but
sure.
we could do an exchange of SIMs and have you send the other ones back. We're not going to leave you dead in the water.
Absolutely, and our dealers are really good at presenting the value of the LiveU Solo and the data packages. If you look at the data connection for the 2 modem kit at $29.50 for a year, if you have a customer who's even broadcasting a local high school football game, $2,950 means that they need probably 2 or 3 sponsorships to pay for that year worth of data. Tell them to go down to the local used car lot. Tell them to get some sponsors to join onto the broadcast. And that's how that data becomes a profit center as opposed to an expense or a cost. It's allowing them to guarantee that their stream is going to be delivered regardless of the network circumstances. So again, to put icing on the cake, holiday deal available now through December 31st. $50 off the LiveU Solo HDMI or the LiveU Solo, $25 more when you upgrade that to the Solo Connect starter kits with either the 2 modem kit or the 3 modem kit. Get these set up now, offer them to your customers. Super easy to offer, super easy to fulfill. Scott, any parting words for us?
No, have a great Christmas, and if that's what you do, or if you've already been enjoying Hanukkah, if that's what you do, but have a great year end. I think, thank you for your business, obviously.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate it. All the entire network, and wishing you, a great 2021. I think we'll, continue to still be, whatever, quarantined in different sorts of ways. So I think, the Solo is going to be there for a while. And like I said, even when we get back to normal, people are figuring out, better ways to go live all over the place. So, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Scott, thanks for joining us. Cheers.
Yep. Cheers, mate.
So we have a couple of weeks off for the holidays, celebrating the holidays with our family. We will be back in 2021 every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Broadfield Liquid Lunch and Learn, bringing you a bunch of topics, a bunch of great guests. We're also going to be adding some special workflow webinars to help show off some of the higher end products, like maybe even some of LiveU's higher end encoders and their service systems. So tune in every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have any questions about the LiveU Solo or the LiveU Solo Holiday Special, reach out to your Broadfield salesperson today. Rich, Dan, John, Jared, all of you Broadfield salespeople can definitely help you out and help answer any questions you may have, or you can reach out to me directly at jim@broadfield.com. See you in 2021. Happy holidays and Happy New Year. Cheers.
Broadfield Distributing is a value-added distributor of live production, streaming, video editing, and storage products. We only sell to resellers. We are always looking for new dealers. So call us at 1-800-634-5178 or email sales@broadfield.com. You'll like doing business with Broadfield because we make it easy to do business.